Alright guys, so I'm gonna finish up the wiring today, hopefully. And I got this wiring diagram that I downloaded. So this is what it originally looks like. So that top plug there is what plugs into the back of the automatic transmission. I almost just dropped my phone. This is the transmission, the TCU, the transmission control unit, and then this is the 175 relay. So that is what it originally looks like. This is what we're going to make it look like. I'll give you guys a little overview of how I'm doing it while I'm in the car. It's going to take a little bit of time to get everything all wired up and soldered, so I'll just catch up with you guys after I've done the process, and then I'll show you guys what I did. So yeah, this is the 175 relay socket. So pin number 3 should be, I think they said either blue or yellow, or blue and yellow, or red and gray. So I have red and gray in this case. And then pin number 4 is a black and blue wire. So I think what it was saying is so the blue and the black wire go to the reverse lights. This gray and red wire, it goes to So I'm going to check the continuity with one of these voltmeters, or whatever they're called. Hopefully it's not wrong, because if it's wrong, it's going to suck a whole lot. Yeah, so, I mean, I could just resolder it, but yeah, I'll be lost if I'm wrong. So hopefully it's right. Fingers crossed, guys. So I was super wrong, guys. The wiring was totally different. My engine is an AZG, and I guess those were for TDI models. So the wiring placement and colors are wrong, but I did find a guy who did an AZG swap, the 2.0. So I got the correct wires. So like I was saying, I clipped, let's see if it focuses. So this gray and red wire right here, this would be what would be going to the blue and black clutch switch. Like I said, I don't have cruise control, so I don't know what I'm going to do about that. But this blue and black wire was correct. And then it's this pin number 9 instead of number 3 here. It would be pin number 9 here. This I checked, and the continuity from here to the wire out in the engine bay is correct. It is the same wire, it just tees off into the TCU, so I have to clip it there. But it's just going to be this and this wire. I believe you connect together. From what I've been reading, these will just be its own separate unit for light switch and light switch only. And then yeah, so that was a scare, real discouraging. Wiring's just, it's hard to figure out all of that stuff, but once you know it, you just gotta practice it, I guess. So I'm gonna keep practicing my wiring skills, and yeah, then we'll see if this works later in the week. Okay guys, so after doing all of the soldering of like the wires for the clutch switch and all of that stuff, I put the gear selector in the car, so we're close on there. That's exciting. I also did go ahead and put the clutch switch, or clutch pedal in, sorry. I do have the slimmer brake pedal, but I'm gonna see how it is driving with the wide pedal. If I don't like it, I can definitely switch this out. And I also have the new, you guys saw it, the whole new gas and brake pedal assembly, so I can just swap the whole thing. But I just need a cover for this, but for now it should work fine. So I've got that in there. I've got it all wired up, and like I was saying, so the diagram that I was looking at was for a TDI model. For the gas model, it was switched, so pin number 3 and number 9 for the 175 relay, those were flipped. So I actually ended up using pin number 9 for the reverse lights, and pin number 3 would be the clutch cancel switch, the blue clutch switch, and that was for like cruise control canceling and all that stuff, which I don't need, so I'm not going to use that. We'll see if the car works without it. I might have to wire it in and do some other wiring stuff, but we're going to see how the car works with how I wired it, if it works. So yeah, but I am starting to assemble the interior. Like I said, I've got the gear selector in. I did a little bit of cleanup with my Demonize. I just drilled a hole in here, ran the power through the bottom, and then the rest of these are getting ran under through where the handbrake is. So yeah, and then it goes up and out the car through one of the rubber grommets. Sorry. So yeah, guys. All right, guys. So it has been about a week. The machine shop still has my block. They did contact me last night and say that they should have it done later today. So what is it? November 3rd today. We dropped it off October 23rd, I think, something like that. So they've had it for about almost 2 weeks. Get it back today, hopefully. And I did get the interior of the car pretty much tidied up, so all the wiring's done, as you guys saw. And I will post links to the pictures of like the wiring diagram that I went off of. The idea is basically the same, just wire colors and stuff you gotta figure out. Get yourself one of these tester things just so you can double check the wires coming from here out in the engine bay, at the transmission controller, and also at the ECU. But yeah, I am about to start degreasing the engine bay, like the whole subframe. I was just covered in oil and grease, so I clean up the engine bay today and also the transmission, and then hopefully tomorrow we will be building the block and putting everything together, and then Sunday hopefully we can get the engine and transmission at least in the car. So high hopes for this weekend. Should be good. Alright guys, so I didn't bring you guys along, but I did go pick up all of this stuff from the machine shop. So I have the block back. They did like a light degrease on the block, and then made sure everything was flat up top, and then of course bored and honed the cylinders, so we've got a fresh cylinder to work with. It took probably a week and a half to get this done, so in the meantime I had a friend that works over there, and shout out to him. He went ahead and polished all of the bearing areas and cleaned up the crank a little bit, so it's ready to go back in there. I had the head resurfaced. Don't worry, I made sure the surface is clean, so everything on the bottom of the head is mirror finish. They said it was really straight. And then I also did order correct ARP head studs. I did order head bolts because I thought the head probably won't lift with head bolts, and I still don't think it would. But if I'm putting all this money into building the engine, why would I skip that corner? So went ahead, got on Euro Tuning, overnighted or 2-day shipped these. They came from Tectonics Tuning, so I guess I could have just ordered from them. Glad I got those. And then also this head gasket. So it's Cometic head gasket. This is not a head gasket for the car. So there's locator pins on the block. This one fits just fine, but this one is not drilled out. And now since the head gasket has its crush area right here, and this is not part of the crush area, they said drilling it wouldn't be too big of an issue. Just pinch the gasket together there, and then be real easy on drilling it with a reaming drill bit, just so it doesn't create like a burr in between each layer, and so it seals properly. So that is what I'm gonna have to do tomorrow, and it shouldn't be too hard. I did locate a reaming bit, so go pick that up and then do this, and then start putting the crank in, assembling the bottom end of the engine, and then we'll be down on the home stretch. So stay tuned, guys.